Stacy. How you doing? Did you get the new PDFs? Robert. Seth is going to be going. How you doing, Robert? Did you guys get the new PDFs, the halftime shuffle? This room. Hold on. Ah, Lord. I'll tell you. Halftime shuffle. I want to wait a little bit because I made a few mistakes this afternoon with the songo and the cascara and the bayonne. It's salsa orientated, and it does come from Cuba. Okay, so we'll straighten that out later. Anyway, halftime shuffle. Now, we got into a bit of a scuffle last time I worked with cut time, halftime, double time. And when Stacy and Seth get here, they're going to understand what cut time means, how it operates, and how it's presented into the public. And you'll see. Anyway, halftime shuffle. Bernard Purdy. Nice man, great drummer. Not a whole lot of technique, but man, a whole lot of feel, a whole lot of groove. I caught him a couple times live. Last time I caught him was at the Delaware drum show, and we were hanging out most of the time. Now, if you guys remember, I gave a while back a one surface. Well, it's in a stick control book. Jesus Christ! I got to change this seat. Jesus! I gave this a while back, but I also presented it into the stick control book formulas on one surface as R equals and L equals. Okay, so we'll skip line 1 and line 2 in the stick control book. Line 3, 2 rights, 2 lefts. This will help you not only with your hands, but get the feel of the triplet halftime. Okay, so if I did all rights with that formula, that's what I would have. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm accenting the 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and slow. So what I do is I take it and put it onto the hi-hat, my right hand, and play my left hand on the snare drum. So if I played what I just did on the snare drum between the hi-hat and the snare drum, I'd have this. Here's my shuffle. Now there's no accent with the left hand. If I meant 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, that's a regular shuffle. So if I go, make that halftime, and I just accent the 3 with the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3. Do we understand that? Stacy, Robert? Who else is in here? That's it. For now, I'm early. I'm only 20 minutes early. Do we understand that halftime feeling? You understand, Robert, right? How about you, Stacy? Stacy, do you understand? Halftime shuffle. See, everybody compares that pattern I just did with Rosanna, with Jeff Beccaro, but I don't feel that with Jeff Beccaro. Okay, what I feel with Rosanna is a dotted eighth note. We know how to play dotted eighth notes. One, the and, the two, the and, the three, the and, the four, the and, the one. And I'm just playing the left hand now on 2 and 4. 1, the and, the 2, the and, the 3, the and, the 4, the and, the. And he plays the, I'll show you in a second, Stacy. And he plays the Bo Diddley foot pattern, which is actually a 3-2 clave. So if you're going to play a 3-2 clave against the triplet, it doesn't really work. But if you play it against the dotted eighth note, it works. I mean, it's actually a dotted 16th. 1, the, and. All right, let's go backwards a little bit. All right, you're not sure, that's okay. What I'm doing is I'm taking an eighth note triplet. All right, and I'm doing a lead with the eighth note triplet to one hand. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the, 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the. That's the pattern. But now, instead of taking it just on the snare, we're going to take it over and we're going to put the right hand on the hi-hat. So I'm going to play the same figure I just did on that snare, but now I'm going to distribute the voices, the right hand on the hi-hat, the left hand on the snare. Slower. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. That's the basic pattern. 3, 4, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Okay? Now, you get that much. I'm going to be playing that. But now, besides playing that, I'm going to add one more note. And that note's going to be on the 3. And that's going to be left hand. It's going to be an accent. Watch slowly. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4 and the. You see it now, Stacy? Hey, old dog, what's up? You see it? So I sit there at the drum pad and I work on that exercise. I think that's exercise or formula number 3 or 4 in the stick control book formula. It's just taking the accent like this. R equals right, left, right, right, left, right, 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 left, left. So I'm doing that just to the right hand. Are you? Is it better for you, Stacy? Let me take the snares off. Look at the PDF. So I have with the PDF between the right hand and the left hand on the hi-hat. Leave the 3 out. So I have 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. I made a mistake. What is that? Well, if I play, well, it makes it halftime. Okay. We're not going to get into any controversial explanations. It's a halftime feel. Here's the I think they call it the Texas Shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Beat up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm doing with that particular one is I'm dropping the backbeat 2 and the backbeat on 4. That gives me my 4/4 time. 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 1. So now I want to make that feel half the time. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I changed the backbeat. Do you get that? That's, in my opinion, old dog. Everybody said it's the Jeff Porcaro Rosanna, but I don't feel that with that tune. But everybody accepts it because what Jeff Porcaro's doing, he's playing a halftime shuffle without a doubt, and it sounds fantastic. But when they're playing the tune Rosanna, if you listen to the bass drum, it's something way back they used to call the Bo Diddley pattern. Hey, Bo Diddley. Now, to get that pattern inside the triplet, it seems very odd. Okay? Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? So, it's accepted as, what you call it, Rosanna, or the Jeff Porcaro. 1, 2, 3, 4. And notice I didn't put no foot pattern in there. Okay, I'm not going to yet. I just want you to get the pattern and hold on to the 8th note triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you come here, Stacy, I'm going to show you the difference between there's all kinds of names for the shuffle, man. That's why, you know, when they talk about rudiments or patterns or whatever. This is the Texas Shuffle. This is New Orleans Shuffle. You know, it's a familiar. It's a pattern that's very popular, say in New Orleans or Texas. So that's how it gets its name. But to me, it's dotted 8th notes, or it's what I just did with the triplets. 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. Shuffle. That's just the 1st and 3rd note of the triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they call that the Texas Shuffle. How you doing, Marcia? Marcio. All right, now, you know, call it whatever you want. I'm going to play the tune. I'm going to play what fits in the tune. That's like I say about the rudiments. There's only the singles, the doubles, and the flams. Everybody said this is a 5-stroke roll, this is a 9-stroke roll, this is a flam tap, patty fa fa, all this good stuff. It's labeled. You know, fine, that's great. But I call this a shuffle pattern. The halftime feel, because I changed the backbeat from 2 and 4 just to the 3, it cut the time in half. Not cut time, half time. But like I said, I'm not going to get into the controversial thing now. Hello, Hoist. I was early. So, Marcio, you love the shuffle, huh? Good for you. I'm waiting, Marcio, for you to buy the PDFs from the stick control book or the syncopation book, or become a member of my site. You have not done anything. You've been coming here almost 3 years. So I think it's about time. Don't you think so, Marcio? Oh, and by the way, one of the members, I'm not going to mention names. I will in email, but if you need this. But he has a copy of the syncopation book, PDFs. Now, if you guys don't have the syncopation book, email me and I'll send it to you. That's free of charge. And I'll tell you who sent it, okay? Everybody knows my email. So email me and I'll send it to you if you need this. If you don't have the syncopation book, that's Matt Patella 1001 at gmail.com. Got it? Okay. You get it now, Stacy? Hoist, do you understand the halftime shuffle? You weren't here this afternoon. And I'm going to go over again the songo and the cascara. And now I'm going to add the halftime shuffle. Okay? Now, I made a mistake. I didn't know the origins of the songo or the cascara, but that's all salsa. Salsa originated in Cuba. I say Cuba. Okay? And it's associated to their rhythmic patterns, all right? So now, let's go to the cascara. Hoist, do you understand the cascara? You have the sheet. Old dog, who doesn't understand? I know now Paul understands it. Hoist, do you understand it in Marcio? Do we all understand it? You guys like the sound of that snare? All right, the halftime, you understand that. How about the songo and the cascara? Let me go over that, what I did this afternoon, and we'll get a little bit more crazy with the halftime shuffle. All right, the feel, the cascara is a feel. It's a 16th note formation, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So have the sheet in front of you, and I'm going to play just the pattern with my right hand. Nice and slow. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and again the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. That's the pattern. A little faster. Okay? Now what I like to do with that is make it a straight line of 16th notes. So I'm counting 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So I'm filling in the 16th notes, almost not quite ghost notes, a little bit louder than ghost notes. So I have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now you see I made the pattern, okay, I made the pattern all accented and the in-between notes much lighter. I don't know. I mean, I just fool around. I have a guy come here, one of my students. He just loves to tune my drums. And after he finishes, man, they really sound really nice. But anyway, do we understand that? 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. You have to learn that first before you go any further. So the next move, I play harmonically. When I say harmonically, my right hand and right foot hit at the same time, and I leave my left hand just as the ghost note. Hoist, do you understand that? Old dog, Jimmy, Marcio, Stacy, Paul. I know you do, Paul. And then I gave an improv this afternoon. 2, 3, 4. Have a whole lot of fun with that. You like that, Paul? You're improvising with the blank, remember? 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 and 4 and 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And you're going to improvise inside the distance between, you play the song, the Cascara, and then you're leaving it blank, the last one. That makes you improvise, okay, in between playing at every other measure. All right, so, and I like to fool around. Have a whole lot of fun. Everybody likes that. I like it too, but man, it's, you know, there's only so much you can do. You know, it's fun to just hang out and jam with it. Just play it over and over and over again. All right, so that's the Cascara. Now the Songo, again, that was my mistake. The Songo is from Cuba, not Brazil. I apologize. You know, there's so many things going through my head, you know, like, oh man, I don't even know who's alive anymore, or who's dead, or what country we're in sometimes, you know, with all the riots and all that bullshit. Okay, so now, the Songo. Marcio, where are you from? Mexico? Now remember, whoever don't have the syncopation book, please email me. I'll send it to you. Okay, how's that sound, guys? Okay, we ready? Hoist, do you understand what I did? I'm going to get back to the halftime shuffle in a second. You weren't here this afternoon. Do you understand the Cascara? Hello, Biringabanga. We're going to go to the Songo. And again, the Songo is from Cuba. Man, that coffee tastes good. Okay, so now, the Songo. It's a Cuban dance. I looked it up on Wikipedia. I talked to a few other guys who are Latin drummers, salsa drummers, so to speak, or whatever. And, you know, it's nice to have Facebook friends like that, you know, 150,000 drummers in one group, 5,000 followers, 5,000 friends on one account, and the same thing with the other two accounts. So, you know, you're going to get some information, and there's some really great players on there. Okay, so now, what I got is the Songo. And again, it's a 16th note formation. It's 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. That is only one accent in that pattern. But before we get to the accent, let's dissect Okay? Good for you, Stacy. Let's dissect the songo. I'm going to use, I got it written out as the bell of the cymbal. But like I said, I'm too lazy to do that, so I'm just going to use the ride cymbal. I got to stretch you all the way out here because I set this up differently. I'm going to keep it here. So the right hand part, I'm counting 16ths. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a simple E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Now, the way I demonstrated it this afternoon was keep playing that ride cymbal 1, 2, 3, 4 and add the first time through the first downbeat and just leave 2 E and 3 E and 4 E. And on the way back, you're going to add the first and second downbeat parts, left hand and bass drum. Let me play what I'm talking about. 1 E and, sorry, Ingedabanga. 1 E and 2 E and 3. A simple pattern. Okay? Now, it's not on. It's some, if you have never played it before, it's going to be a little unusual. So I would get into a form of meditation. How many guys here or people here meditate? Aum, Buddha, Bingedabanga. How many guys do that? It's a matter of focus where you clean your mind. I don't sit there and fold my arms and my legs and go aum, say a mantra. What I do with this is the songo is my mantra, but I clean my mind. And I'm thinking 16th notes and putting everything in place where it belongs. 1 E and da. 2 E and da. 3 E and da. 4 E and da. Now you play it that slow for 2 or 3 minutes. You do that slow for 2 or 3 minutes, you're going to be amazed at what happens to you. You're going to be playing it at a different tempo. Yeah, I know a few that do, they've been here too, as a matter of fact. They're Buddhists. And they do mantras and katas, I mean, not katas. That's mixed martial arts. They do their mantra. I guess that's what it's called. But it helps. Aha, guilty, Your Honor. Well, hey, you know what? There's so many different things out there with all this, you have to understand something. Now, here you are on Facebook, and here you are on YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn or whatever it is that you're on, whatever social media, and you're dealing with the general public all over the world. And trust me, I don't have to tell you guys that. There are some maniacs out there. Crazy people. I just don't know what they're thinking about. So you kind of eliminate that. But it's nice to deal with the world. And it's a good psychological thing too, how to deal with the world. Be street smart. I just give you an example of yesterday when people want to come into the different groups, like the Art of Drumming group, the Stick Control book, the Solo, the Morello book, the Shafee Patterns room. Excuse me. When I add the people, I put a video of the rules. And that's not asking too much. You want to belong to a group, follow the rules. This one guy wanted a street fight with me. I don't even know who he was. So I didn't say a word except put the video out there. He called me a punk, a tough guy behind the computers. Hey, I don't even know the guy. What I said, all I did was make a video, say no cover tunes. Unbelievable. You never know what's going on. But anyway, Jimmy, you're not a Buddhist? How about you, Stacy, Paul, Marcio? All dogs just said it. How about you, Hoist? All right. Want me to continue on to the, and Robert, you will, hey, oh. Want me to continue on to the Songo, or you want me to go back to the halftime shuffle? Your choice, guys. Triplet rolls. What I need from all the members here, I believe all of you guys have the stick control book formula and the syncopation formula. Let's get some requests. Let's get it out there. Say, hey man, I'm not sure of this page, or what are you talking about here, or that kind of thing. Well, you don't meditate formally. I don't do it at 4 o'clock every day or before I hit the day. I don't meditate. When I sit down and practice and I want to take something apart, that's a form of meditation for me. And not be accepted for other people. Well, how about transcendental meditation? That's all that crazy shit. Look, all you have to do is be relaxed. Clean your mind. If you're, like I just mentioned, the guy gave me a bunch of shit on Facebook. So if I'm trying to work something out and that comes into my mind, I'm not clearing my mind. So I got to throw that out. My mind has to be clear in order for me to go forward with whatever I'm learning. A lot of people say, yeah, man, I can't do that. I'm a nervous wreck. I drink too much coffee. I smoke too many cigarettes. So they take Valium, minga-da-bonga, and they're falling asleep in between beats. Huh. But there's nothing really to figure out, Stacy. Meditation is a strong focus, in my opinion. Hoist, where did you go, man? I'm trying to get to you. Do you understand the Songo and the Cascara? And guys, I asked last week, can you please make some videos? I only got one guy sending me videos. And that's exactly what I just said, Paul. What is it? I got to change this seat. Got to throw them all out. Get my recliner. Hold on. It is a form of meditation. And what's nice about when you play, for example, the Songo or the Cascara for a period of time, you improvise. Now, I showed you the Cascara on one surface. But you can hang out like this. You could do all kinds of things. But that's, like this is a form of, let me just explain when I'm talking about meditation. I'm not even going to look at the computer because when I'm doing lessons and I'm trying to explain something, first off, there's a lot of drums to hit. Sometimes I miss, and I'm concentrating, I'm teaching something and I'm counting, and then I see somebody ask a question. So right away I look at the question while I'm doing what I was doing. See, that's not a form of meditation, that's insanity. Okay, and that's, what do they call it? I forgot what the hell you call it. Anyway, do 2 or 3 things at one time, which is good. But here's my meditation, Paul, and you're absolutely, I really feel if the student gets into this, zone in. You can close your eyes and zone in on the count. 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the 1, E, and the 2. Stay there like that for a while. Stay there. You're not trying to prove anything to no one. You're not performing at Carnegie Hall. You're practicing, you're learning something. By doing it that slow, you're in time, you're establishing the sound of your voices, okay, your balance of your voices, you're nailing that accent, and as you get familiar with it, then you can play with it a little bit. But that's zoning in, that's like a form of meditation for me. When I'm playing a jazz pattern, I'm zoned in. Whatever, but that's a form of meditation. Multitasking, that's it, Stacy, thank you. Where did Hoist go? Hoist, you still there? Okay, that's where you want to go. All right, let's go back to the, I'm not hearing from Hoist. Oh, you like that, huh? That was an accident. The guys practiced that shit. Unbelievable, man. Anyway, let me see if I can catch it on the computer, the delay. All right, anyway, let's get back to the halftime shuffle. Like I was saying to Robert and Stacy when they first got here, it's acceptable a bolero? Bump, bum, 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 bum. What does a bolero have to do with anything right now? All right. Is that what you're talking about, Marcio? All right, Hoist, do you understand the cascada and the songo? If you do, we go on to the halftime shuffle. And do you understand how to improvise on that? How I said, play one pattern and play the pattern one measure and the blank. Another measure, blank. And you fill in the blank. Once you feel that you got it going on, you're going to improvise in the blank. Let me demonstrate it a little bit. 2, 3, blank, right? 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4. Now what I do is after I feel that, there's that blank, so I'll improvise inside of that. There's nothing that I'm thinking of. I'm just, whatever sounds good, wherever it goes. I don't know what my drums and I are going to talk about until we do that pattern. Nah. You see what I did? I filled in there. You don't understand the songo. All right, we're here, we'll do it. The songo is it's a dance. And like I said, I made a mistake this afternoon and I said Brazil. Nah, Matt, cuckoo Matt. It comes from Cuba. It's more of a salsa kind of feel. Okay? So the songo, you know, you have it in front of you have the notation. So I'm using the bell of the cymbal, but I'm not going to demonstrate it with the bell. I'm just going to use the crown of the cymbal. So that part is just straight quarter notes. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now I'll add the left hand in the bass drum. 1 E and the 2. 3 E and the 4. 1 E and the 2 E. The 3 E and the 4 E and the. It's simple. All right, and the cascada, we had that, we're fooling around with it. All right, the halftime shuffle, guys. You have the PDFs or the book, stick control book formula. I think this is number 3. I don't have the book here. That's where we did the formula as R equals right, left, right, and L equals left, right, left, or becomes, okay? So if I did line 1 as R, and then L equals becomes that, it's just an alternating triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, for example, line 3, 2 rights, 2 lefts. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I were you guys, before you get to the halftime shuffle, review that. For example, if I was referencing all rights, it would become now 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, right, right. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking that pattern and I'm going to distribute it between 2 voices. I'm going to play the snare drum part and the hi-hat part. I take the right hand, put it over to the hi-hat. All rights. Right and the 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And now I add one more thing to that. And I'm going to put a backbeat. In addition to what I just played, I'm going to put a backbeat on the count of 3 with the left hand on the snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. We get that, guys? Do we understand it? Hello, we understand the halftime shuffle pattern. I'm not putting no foot patterns in there until tomorrow afternoon. Okay? Jimmy, Hoist, Marcio, Paul, Stacy, Robert, Homero, Old Dog. We all understand it? All right, it's a fun thing to do. But I'm not putting the foot pattern in until tomorrow afternoon. And I believe I want to do some reading with everybody. Okay? Jimmy's got it, Stacy's got it, Paul's got it. Everybody has it except Matt. Hey, right. Okay, anyway, any questions, gentlemen, ladies, people? If not, then I'm going to sign off until 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. All right, so we got the shuffle, we got the cascara, and we got the songo. And the bolero. Or was that the bolero? Yeah. I mean, I don't really, I just read the music, Bum, 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 bum. I don't know, I never really played a bolero with a band, but that's the Bolero Pattern. I really don't, there's so much you can do. You see when I play that, you see my left arm, people call it a whip. It's not a whip, it's a pump. I pump my arm. I don't disrupt the flow of the stick. My elbow comes right into the side of me just before the downstroke. But anyway, we'll get into that another time. We understand, oh boy, we understand the halftime shuffle. We'll do some foot patterns. And you could use the syncopation book and the stick control book for the foot patterns. Yeah, well, Bernard Purdy, he calls it the Purdy Shuffle. Then it becomes the, what's his name? Jeff Beccaro, Rosanna the Shuffle, Beccaro Halftime Shuffle. They could put their name on it. Who cares? You know, when you play shuffle, it's a shuffle. If you play, Marcio, if you play a shuffle, what's it called? A Marcio shuffle? It's the same shit. It don't matter. Now don't forget, Marcio, I'm going to be upset if you don't buy one of the PDFs or become a member. It is time after 2 years. You are the only person that comes to the lessons that has not done anything for me. And I think I do a lot for you. So with all that being said, no questions, no problems. Okay? 1 p.m. tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, guys, have a good night.